Hi everyone, Marianne Cowan here from Pinery Paper Crafts. Hello Phyllis. I'm back from holidays and back to my regular schedule of Facebook Lives. And today we're going to be making some really pretty fall cards. Hi Cindy, hi Fran. So I'm back from holidays, and so we'll be back to our regular weekly 3 o'clock Facebook Live and Sundays at 7. And today I'm going to feature one card that will be in the upcoming Fall Stamp Camp to Go. So I have 2 events. I will have more, but these are the 2 big events I have scheduled coming up. Fall Stamp Camp is Saturday, September 19th. There will be some live components to that. However, everything will be recorded so that you can do it at your leisure. We are making 16 cards with envelopes, and the theme is Fall, Thanksgiving, and Gratitude cards. You will get a free pack of gold cards and envelopes. Gold foil cards, I should say. But the envelopes are gold. They are so pretty. I don't know if you can tell in the camera, but these are gold. And then the card bases have gold embossing all around them. So there's 10. I'm not sure we'll use all 10 in the cards that we make, but you'll have extras to use for other things. Oh, thanks for sharing, Fran. So this is a freebie included in the cost of your kit. So we'll also be doing a 3D project and a treat holder. Everything's prepped, ready to go. You have to add your own greeting or stamp, whatever stamps you have. If you want to add on the beautiful autumn bundle, which is these 3 punches and the stamp set, which is amazing. It's in the catalog for $68.25, so that's what I charge you, but no tax and no shipping. So you can add that on. The punches are amazing. And then the Christmas one is October 17th, but again, it's all recorded. You will be receiving a pack of the Wonder of the Season cards and envelopes, and these are beautiful. They're actually bigger than regular cards. The other ones were regular card size, not note card. These ones are regular card size, and then they have the matching envelope. So we will be using some of these, but not all of them in the card class. How many do you get? You get 20. So we're not using all 20, so you'll have some left over. And also, anyone who registers before the, oops, I'm just finding it here. Oh, here it is. Anyone who registers before the early bird, which is September 30th, but we are over halfway full. You're also going to receive a bonus stamp set. It's called A Merry Hello. It's a host set, so you can't purchase it. You can only get it if you host a party. But anyone that registers before September 30th will receive one of these stamp sets, the pack of envelopes, and of course all the materials to make 14 cards, 6 Christmas tags, a 3D project, and a Christmas treat holder. If you've ever received my classes to go, you get a lot of stuff, and everything's done, so you will have to stamp your own images, and that's on October 17th. 10 to 3, again, some parts will be live, but you can definitely do it at your own leisure. Hi Monique, the cottage was fun. It was chilly a couple of days, like sweatpants chilly. But it's so beautiful being by the lake that really doesn't matter what the weather is. And we did have a couple of nice days. Not like the last time, our first week up there. It was the 40-degree weather where you just stayed in the lake the whole time. I don't think I swam till Thursday because it was too cold. So anyways, actually the water's pretty warm because we've had such a warm summer. All right, so I'm going to get started. We're going to do 3 cards today, and the first card we're going to do will be in the Fall Stamp Camp to Go. So if you're interested in that, I suggest you register early. All my events usually do sell out. So this is what the cards look like. And for this one, what I did is I took Very Vanilla and I embossed it using the Evergreen Forest 3D embossing folder. Oh, and I want to show you, when I was at the cottage, I posted a picture of it. With the punches, you can punch out from paper. I didn't even bring any stamps to the cottage. So with this paper, which has brass and gold, brass? Yes, brass. Brass and gold? Oh, I keep second guessing myself. Because when I pulled out the colors to do the copper, yes, it's copper, because the pieces I cut out were brass. That's why I know. So this is the paper. Beautiful. This whole suite is beautiful, beautiful. All right, so what was I starting to say? So copper and gold, and then you just take your punch, and you sometimes have to cut around the edges and use little post-it notes, but it's as easy as just taking your punch and punching it out. So I sat in the front screened-in porch in my sweatpants because it was chilly, just punching things out. And it's the same with this one. And it's quite a generous space for you to adjust it so you can punch it out. And then that would punch out. I actually don't want to punch this one out because it looks like the exact. Oh, I will. So then I ended up with a sheet that had hundreds of these little things punched out. So we were at the cottage. I'm thinking, how am I going to get all this stuff home without it all like mixing up? So we went into the big town of Shawville, which is the closest town to our cottage. And I was looking at, we went to Giant Tiger and we went to Canadian Tire. And at Giant Tiger, I was looking for like one of those little craft boxes that has all the little containers or separations, or a little fishing tackle box I thought would be good. Couldn't find either of those. So then we went to Canadian Tire and I started in the kitchen section and I found these ice cube trays, which my daughter said are just amazing. Now, me, I would not go to all the trouble of doing this for ice cube trays, but apparently it's really good. It has no fridge smell, it doesn't spill. One thing about being a teacher is when you look at something like this, you look at it for totally different things and not as an ice cube tray. So what I did is, I just don't want to hit the microphone. So this one is all my oak leaves. So I had brought up just some colored paper and then the designer series paper to cut it out, then some foils, and then all the little scraps, because the punches are so small you can use scraps. This was scrap from, oh yeah, the other side of the colored one. So when there wasn't enough to cut out an actual one, I just flipped it over and used those ones. So for the colored ones, there's, I'd say Cajun Craze, I would say crushed curry, mint macaron, and then there's a few in there that I had colored. So that's my little tray. And so now I have one for each of my leaves. So I have that one for my oak leaves. Yeah, Shannon, you know me, I can't really sit still at the cottage. This one for my maple leaves. Actually, that's a good way to store them. No, they might squish. Maple leaves. And then one for the acorns, which are the most adorable little things. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. There's an acorn. Now, if I were you, I would get these at the dollar store and not Canadian Tire in Shawville, where they were probably more expensive. And then for the little tiny leaves, I fussy cut those. Yes, I did. That's how much time I had at the cottage. So, but now I have all these little trays. Some of them are going to be for fall stamp camp. I'm just putting the lids on because at the cottage one did tip over and it was a mess. There we go. So that's a great little organization tip when you have a lot of little things. And the one thing about having lids, which for an ice cube tray, I don't think I would need, but hey, for my crafting, perfect. So that's all my little pieces. I took some out for today. All right, back to our cards. That was my little commercial. Oh, thanks, Lisa. So, I embossed this with the Evergreen Forest 3D. Then I went to spritz it, and I don't know what was happening with my spritzer, but it was giving me chunks instead of a spritz. So I actually did take some of the paint and did the tips, but it'd be prettier if it was spritzed because it's not getting anything behind it. This one's going to be very simple. So I'm going to go ahead and add this to the card. These cards in themselves are so pretty. I'm thinking I should use green glue. It's not green glue, it's white glue. The cards are so pretty by themselves that you don't need a lot. However, the next two cards I have added a bit more. It's quite a deep embossing folder. So I do want to make sure that I get it pretty centered. I totally missed you guys too. And we had, if you stand in one corner of the cottage, you can get a little bit of cell service, but there's no way I could do a video, even watch a video. I was lucky if I could check my mail. Then I have a little strip. These are the cutoffs when you're cutting down your paper to use as inserts. These are the little edge pieces. They're always good to save. Have a Beautiful Day is from the stamp set. Have a Beautiful Day. I've also used My Heart is Grateful for You. And the other sentiment I used, well, I'll show you when I get to it. All right, so my idea for this, because I don't really want to hide the trees, is I'm just going to angle it a little bit so it's got a little bit of excitement. Then I'm going to take a couple of little elements, sticking, so I've heat embossed this in gold. This is copper, and then I'll take a gold one. And I think one, I don't know, is that copper, brass? I get all mixed up. Just like that. So I'm going to cut it, doing this to decide where I want to cut it on the other end. Because I want these to be on the little strip, but not covering up the greeting, obviously. All right, let's go ahead. I'm going to put this on with glue dots just to be quick. Shannon, I've never actually looked for ones with lids, but they are very handy. And actually, they're cheaper than what I was looking for. I think they were $5 or $5.95. But if I had got a little craft container, it would have been more than that. So, all right, so I want 2 oak leaves and then one of these guys popped up in the middle, I think is what I'm going to do. They're just so cute and so fun. Now, do I want this popped up or do I not? I think not, because I'm going to have a bow. Oh, that's not even the one I want. I'll put it up here. I want gold. So for my bow, I decided for this one to use a little gold bow to match everything else that's going on. This is from the Christmas set that has this one, I think, and this big fat green one. I wish they had a separate gold one because I use it so much. All right, then we'll add a little bow. So this will be one of the cards that will be in the fall stamp camp. It's simple, but it's beautiful. And I'm gonna have to figure out something else to get it glitzy. Maybe I just need to do a different combination of paint, because it was the champagne mist paint that I used and rubbing alcohol. But there's a certain consistency you have to use. I think maybe I used too much water, I don't know. I'm rusty. I've been away for a week. All right, so that's the first card. We could add, I think, a couple of little gold. These are the tiny little ones. I love them. They're so cute. If I can get one off. They come in gold. You get a sheet of gold and a sheet of silver. There. That's a really simple card, but I think it's really pretty. What do you guys think? And here's the envelope that would go with it. So look at that, how beautiful to get that in the mail. Gorgeous. Okay, I'm just gonna sneak these things down here. Oh, we also have these gold ones too. And the gilded gems. Maybe we'll use one on each, a different one on each of them. Getting gems stuck all over me here. The other thing at the cottage, it was just my husband and I for a couple of days, and then our daughter came up with her boyfriend, so it was quiet. All right, same card. Now I'm using some of the specialty paper. So I'm using this piece here. It's all beautiful. And I've seen cards made with both sides, and I don't even know how you decide what side is prettiest. So you use it all, and you order another pack. Now, I thought this was copper when I cut it out, but it's actually brass. So, as not to waste paper, because this paper is expensive, before I put this piece on, I cut out some leaves. These are from last year's set called, I want to get the name proper, Gathered Leaves Dies. I made a lot of beautiful cards with these last year. They're so pretty because they die cut and emboss at the same time. Or you can get just one that die cuts out. I didn't pull out the stamp set, but I just want to show you this little trick. And there's little pumpkins as well. Beautiful, beautiful. And then this is a new set that I didn't think I needed, but I needed. Stitched Leaves Dies. And look at all the different varieties. So you can do the outline, or you can do it with the inside. Same as the poinsettia. I would take some sticky notes, full sticky notes, and put them on the back so that you're not lining up the pieces the whole time, like I was doing. So here's one from that set. So pretty. So I'm not using these on today's cards, but I didn't want to waste any of this, but I will use them on a card tomorrow. So that piece is 3.5 by 4 3/4. So it fits nicely. This one was nice, but I wanted to keep this one simple, but it would have looked pretty with a little piece of gold, although it's got the gold around the edge. So now we've got gold, we've got brass, and then we're going to have copper, which is kind of cool. And then this one is 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. All right, so we're going to attach these two, and then we'll pop it up, and then we'll decide what kind of bow we want. This hasn't been used in a week. I lost the lid. Well, it's somewhere in this craft room. My goal this week is to do a good clean out of my craft room. And I just had a friend, a teacher colleague, former colleague, who's going to be working at CHIO with preteen and teen girls, and she's looking for wood mount stamps. So I have some of those. So this little shape is from Tasteful Labels Dies. So I've used that one, and I've used this big one, or have I today? I think so. Yeah, I have. This big one and this one. Great, great die set. All right, so we're going to pop this up with dimensionals. You can see how the back, it's fun too when you use the leaf cutout and then have the paper inside. We're not doing that today, but we will for one of our cards this week. This week it's going to be all about fall, because I felt like it was fall when I was at the cottage, even though it's not quite fall. So we'll pop this one up. It's nice to get a pack of cards and envelopes that match. Then you don't have to worry about cutting your bases, and some of them are note card size, but these are nice because they're regular card size. And the Christmas ones are a little bigger, but I don't think they would be extra postage, because that's always an issue as well. All right, so we've got that. Now, because this paper had leaves, I thought maybe using one of these, which I had already cut out. So I'm going to use some of these and then maybe a couple of these tiny little leaves that I have here. Because there's not really any of these type of leaves on there. I wish there was a punch or a cutout for wheat. I thought I saw one in one of the sets, so if anyone remembers what set it is, let me know. Like a sheath of wheat. I think that's what it's called. Or maybe there was one before and there isn't anymore. I don't know. All right, so I thought maybe, I don't want to take up too much because the paper is so pretty, but just a little bit. I'm going to put it on top actually, I think. So we've got that one. And I thought maybe this berries. For some reason that's not punching out and I don't want to wreck it, so I'm not going to bother. That's actually taller, so let's put it behind. And then this little gold one. Or maybe not. For now, I'm just going to put these two because I'm not sure I like the other one. All right, I'm going to start with this one with the glue dot, then work my way. Now, because I'm putting it on the front, fairly close to the top though, because I might want my bow there. And I think I can do this on using the same glue dot. Now it needs one more, but I actually don't like that one there. Although it is gold. All right, we're gonna go for it. I think it needs its own glue dot. Oh, it's with the sunflowers. Okay, Shannon, perfect. I thought I had seen one. And then I thought I was losing my mind. Okay, so we've got that. It's gonna go about there. And then I might add two little leaves down here, these little tiny ones that are so small, I think I've lost it. I'm gonna move these ones out of the way because we're using them tomorrow. Oh, there we go. Just before I pulled out a bunch of stuff that I thought we might use. Then we have a bow decision. I think it's gonna, I don't know. All right, I'm gonna do two little leaves here. And I think I can use the same glue dot. And then a bow. All right, I like that. Let's pop it up. I'm gonna have to put something at the front there over those glue dots. I'm glad, Shannon, I wasn't losing my mind. All right, so here's the copper ribbon, which I ran out of and had to get more. This is a new one called embroidered ribbon. It's really pretty. It's thicker though. It's 1 centimeter wide. And I don't know if it's too earthy tones for this. Okay, so the embroidered ribbon or the copper ribbon. So embroidered is number 1, copper is number 2. And I'm going to get a little gem to put on there. Because you can see the glue dot. It's not good. Oh, it looks cute. Yeah, I know what you've been doing. You've been cutting out a whole bunch of sunflowers. It's that time of year. My sunflowers in our back. I have some in my raised box and our daughter has some in her raised box that's in our backyard. And hers are probably 10 feet tall, but mine are coming up strong. Mine are about 8.5 feet tall. And they have these tiny little flowers at the top. It's hilarious. All right, so we have 1 vote for copper, which I think is what's going to win. This one's pretty, but I'm thinking it would be better when I'm using more earth tones as the card base and not all this glittery goldy stuff. All right, so we've got one for copper. We'll just go ahead and put the copper one on. I think for these ones, because they have the fancy card base, that the copper ribbon is going to be prettiest. Thinking of you. So this font or sentiment is from Life is Beautiful. Thinking of you, hello, and life is beautiful. Isn't that nice? So you've got it for all seasons, snowflakes, leaves. I've seen this one done like in spring colors. And then the tree, which you could do for Halloween, you could do for spring. It's got a little birdhouse. It's just really pretty. It's $1 million seller one. That means someone who sold $1 million got to help design this set. So I can see this set being used a lot. So that's what the sentiment is from. All right, so I just added a gilded gem here just to cover up the glue dot where the two little leaves are. And I think that's pretty. And here's what it would look like with the card, with the envelope, I mean. It's pouring rain out right now. I thought it was supposed to be sunny today. I hung my laundry out on the line. It's now in the dryer. It was almost, you know when it's almost dry, just has that little bit left, and yeah, no, not anymore. All right, so this is our last card. Move these two out of the way till we're done. So, same idea, wrong color, but that's okay. We just have lots of different metallics. So this one is, why do I keep forgetting this? Brass. I should remember because we used to have all that brass fireplace stuff and brass stuff. Brass. I've gone ahead, cut out some leaves that we'll use at another time. I've used a different piece of the paper. I'm going to do this one landscape. Isn't it pretty? That's the mint macaron. So let's go ahead and glue this on. The back of this one's pretty too, the herringbone. It's so hard though. How would you put glue on that side? Ooh, it's so pretty. Now, remember when you're doing it landscape to make sure that you cut it so that the leaves are this way and not this way. I did remember, but in the past I have maybe forgotten. All right. Hi Barb too, I'm sure you're there watching with Monique. Okay, so we'll grab some, oh my gosh, dimensionals. I just put a dimensional on that leaf that was sitting over there. Oh well. Have to get back into the swing. These are the first cards I've made since I've been home. Last night it was like, put away the coolers, get everything organized. But it was a beautiful getaway week. We're gonna go back in September sometime. It'll just be for a weekend or a couple of days. All right, so let's put this in the middle. So now we've got every metallic color going on because this base is gold. So we've got gold. Now I did this nice big back piece for the sentiment. My heart is grateful for you. I did think about cutting it off at the edge and making it smaller, but I decided just to go for it. So here's what I was thinking for this one. I'm going to use some of these pieces again. I'll use this one because I've already cut it. So I have to go back. When you do trim these up, you need to go back and do a little bit of trimming work after. Like that leaf is now square at the end, so you just kind of go back. So I think I had that one. Then I had a mint macaron, which is the middle one, which is typically the top one. And then I thought about this leaf. What do you guys think? Or is that too big? These ones are so small. And then I'm going to do a couple of little leaves over here. Just like I did for the other one. But maybe a little closer in. And then again for the ribbons, I had linen thread. And I know you're going to say no. It's got to be this one. Okay. All right, so we've got that. I think I want to chop this off and make it not quite as spread out. It's a little too much. But it's still going the right way, so that's good. All right, let's go ahead and start, and then you can tell me if you think this big leaf is too much. Now for this one we might end up, okay, where am I going to put it? Right about there, I think. We might end up having some of the little stems showing underneath the bow, which is okay too. We do want it spread out a little bit because this one's going to go up through the middle. I'm going to trim a little bit off of the bottom. So yes to the big leaf or no to the big leaf. I'll put it on again so you can see. It looks really big now. I'll go ahead and put these ones on. I think the big leaf is too big. I think if we're going to do those size of leaves, it has to be all those size of leaves and not a mix and match. That's what I'm thinking. But I'll wait and hear from you guys. Hopefully I didn't lose connection. No, I can still see myself working. There is quite a bit of a delay. That was a crazy storm we had last night. We did lose our power for just a minute. Does that go straight? Okay, so when I look at this one, I say no. And then I say yes. Too big, yeah, I agree. If I'm gonna use that one, it's gonna be all of that size of leaves. Okay, good, thank you for your input. When you're crafting alone in your craft room, sometimes it's just, does it look right? Does it not look right? So I appreciate having a second opinion. All right, I'm just clearing up some dimensional tippies. Okay, so let's put the brass bow on because I know you're going to say yes to the brass. No, it's not brass, it's copper. I need to take a course in metallics. There we go. And I'm going to put a gilded gem there. I could put gold, but I think I'll put this one because it's more in keeping with the color. I ran out of little ones because I could put a little one somewhere else, but you know what? I think it's got enough going on here. All right. And then let's see how that one looks with these. So anyone who's coming to the fall stamp camp to go, you're going to get a pack of these. There's 10 in this pack, and we'll probably use 8 of them or 6 of them. So you'll have a few left over, but it's just so pretty. So pretty. All right, so we have some other things that we can play with this week. So that's our third card. Here was our second one. So same idea, and remember to use that piece underneath to cut out some leaves that you can use next time. And there's our first one. Very plain, but I think it's really pretty. I did take a sponge because I was having trouble glitzing. I did take a sponge and my silicone mat and just went over top of it with the champagne mist paint. But you can only see it very subtly. I'll have to check my recipe for what I had for my mixture, because I did do a new mixture of champagne mist, but there's a ratio that you're supposed to do paint to alcohol, and I think I might have put too much alcohol in, so if I go back and put a little more paint in, I'll see if that'll work. If not, then we'll think of something else. All right, those are my cards for today. So thank you for joining me. I'm just moving them out of the way because I use this for my thumbnail on my Facebook Live. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you're joining me on my mission to make a card, send a card. And don't forget to sign up for my online classes if you are interested. MarianneCowan.com. You can go to the events section and both of them are listed there. All right, so we will see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock, and I'll be working on fall cards all this week. Although tomorrow I might use some of those larger leaves that I cut out, because when you use all larger leaves, it actually is very pretty. But with these ones, because these leaves are so small, I think we need to stick to the small ones. Design. It's a design idea. All right. So hope to see you tomorrow. Thanks, Monique. And thank you, Lisa. I'm glad you like them. So we'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same channel. Have a great day, everybody.